now with solar panels in order to keep this country safe. And when I tell my colleagues that not only do I not need a bodyguard when I go back to El Paso, not only do I not fear for my own life, but I live in and represent one of the safest, if not the safest cities in the United States. And its safety is not predicated on law enforcement alone. That certainly helps. But it is in large part because of the fact that a quarter of the people I represent were born in Mexico, are immigrants who successfully integrated into America, are contributing to the American dream, have made the extraordinarily difficult decision to leave their home country, their hometown, their community, the language, the laws, the customs that they know, to come to a different, sometimes strange place, to try to get ahead for themselves, certainly to provide more opportunity for their kids, but immediately they're wrapped up in how they contribute to this country's success. I noticed some veterans in the room tonight, and I want to begin by thanking you for your service and what you represent to this country, and sharing a story that's powerful to me as an El Pasoan and a fronterizo about a gentleman after whom we just named one of our international bridges that connects us to Ciudad Juarez, a guy named Marcelino Serna. You may or may not know his story. He was born in Chihuahua, came across into El Paso. He's what today you would call an undocumented immigrant. He's somebody that the president might call an illegal alien. He's somebody who came for opportunity and found it in El Paso, Texas. Happens that this story takes place a little bit more than 100 years ago. And he gets rolled into the march to war in World War I, as the United States is going to go fight the enemies of democracy in Europe and in France. And as he's going through his basic training and as he's getting pounded into the dirt by his drill sergeant, they discover that Mr. Serna is not from the United States. In fact, he's not a U.S. citizen. In fact, he doesn't have to go off to war. And his drill sergeant says, "Serna, this is not your fight. Go on back to Mexico or go back to El Paso. You don't have to go over with these guys, many of whom are not going to come back alive." And Marcelino Serna says, "No, this is now my country, and it has been good to me, and I want to do everything I can to serve the United States." So he goes over, he fights with distinction, he brings back honor to El Paso, to Texas, to the United States, and he ends up being the most highly decorated Texan to serve in all of World War I, this undocumented immigrant from Mexico. That's the face of the border, of immigration, of our connection with Mexico. We can all recount dozens, if not hundreds, of stories about what makes the border so special, so unique, so positively powerful. And if now, more than ever, we don't share those stories, then shame on us, because this is our moment of truth as people of the border. They are going to build this wall, 2,000 miles long, that your grandkids are going to be reading about decades from now, wondering what the hell grandma and grandpa were thinking when they let this happen. These are the communities that will be militarized. These are the communities that will be changed forever. This is the magic that will be lost if we don't stand up and fight for it and protect it and share the truth, the facts, and our stories. The night that I met Amy, Marcelino Serna, the men from Company E in El Paso who served in World War II, or the Barrio Boys from Segundo Barrio who won the first state baseball championship in 1949 from El Paso, Texas, even though the signs they passed on the road to Austin, Texas, at the hotels and restaurants said, "No Mexicans or dogs allowed." That is the story of our state, what we have overcome, what we have contributed. That is the story of our country. And it is in large part, why I'm running to represent you in the United States Senate. I am fiercely proud, as is Kim, as is Susanna, as is every person in this room, of being an American, of being a Texan, of being somebody of the border. And I want to share what we know. I want to contribute what we have to make this a better country, to ensure that more people in Texas have better opportunities, whether that's making sure that they can see a doctor, whether that's making sure that if they